Joe Biden catching some flack on International Women's Day.
Girls everywhere need to know that there are women fighting for them and winning, opening doors, transforming schools and communities and governments, building a better world for all of us.
Oh. So that was the First Lady presenting the Women of Courage Award to 11 recipients from around the world during a ceremony at the White House, including a transgender woman. Judge, you seem to not be able to hold back. Your reaction to the First Lady presenting a biological male from Argentina with an award for women on International Women's Day?
You know, I could be wrong, but I think this is cultural appropriation. I think that they're basically saying that men who want to become women are better at being women than women are.
And there we go, kicking it off right there with the other side of everything else. Oh, appropriation, such a big word. But is it appropriate? I believe the judge kind of has a point there. Are men better at being women than women? I mean, that's the First Lady talking about empowering women and then giving an award to someone that has a penis. Which, whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, does make you a male. Not necessarily a man, but a male. But it's not like we haven't had this issue before. Let's take a look at this.
I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Hey, I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
And there you go. There you have it. How many more ways we got to say it? It's sweet being a transvestite. So I'm told. And so we've come full circle. That was in the 70s. Now here we are, 2023, giving women awards to biological men. And that's not transphobic, and that's not whatever you want to call it, whatever racist or it be. I don't know how I can't keep up with all that stuff. I can't worry about it. It's just too much, because it's like a message we'd received a couple of Sundays ago is everybody's going to be offended. Well, actually, this past Sunday. Everybody's going to be offended. Somebody's going to be offended. Somebody's going to be the offensee. And sometimes you got a fencer. That's somebody that has a little sword play in it, which brings us right back to the biological male. But anyway, here we are, the other side of everything else. We're going to get into some music right away. I got 3 new songs by some older bands. Bands that I grew up with, from the 80s. And then got 3 really good songs. I like them. And also, I'm wearing my Winery Dogs shirt because 316 is my anniversary. It's actually 3/16/17. That's a brilliant way to remember my anniversary. But I know it's also Stone Cold Steve Austin Day on WWE, but it's also my anniversary. And, we celebrated by going to the Winery Dogs. So we're going to get into some of that. But I got to go ahead and get into some of the new songs first, because the first one is Billy Squier. One of my all-time favorite guys, my all-time favorite bands or artists. He has different bands sometimes, but I mean, I love his songwriting, and he stepped it up on this one too. And the reason I want to go ahead and go straight into that is because the name of the song happens to be "Harder on a Woman." Love that guitar.
Molly's got a problem What you gonna do? Took away her freedoms. Can't believe it's true. Black man at the courthouse says we're coming after you. He forgets what it's like. Looks ain't gonna
Oh,
save you.
take it, Billy.
Only go so far.
Preach it.
Meet me on the corner and step into my car. Ain't no room for honesty when everyone's a star. Better run for your life. Come to me.
Oh, love that. Love that. Love to get into some more of that. Now it's just a single. He's playing it by ear, so to speak. He's he's on Eddie Trunk's show, and he's just put it out there. He's like, wrote a song, wanted to get it out there. He don't need the money. He's somebody made money with when he people started sampling hip hop, rap. They started sampling, and they used his song "Big Beat" and "The Stroke," and he got his money from that, and he made all kinds of money. Not to mention the royalties, from those songs. "My Kind of Lover" and all that kind of stuff. And he's in the dark. Don't Say No to Me. Should get him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because to me that's one of the perfect albums. I love that album. I don't have to skip a track on it. I can put it on there and just let it play. And but anyway, like I said, he made his money, and he even spends his time. He's a landscaper in Central Park, and then he's got his own home. I guess he does he loves his gardening and his landscaping, and so he does that on the side, and that's just because he wants to. But he's a songwriter. Once you're a song, I've always said, once you write songs, because people say, "Well, I'm not going to put any music out because I don't make money at it right now, and it costs too much to make and all that." Well, it might have been true before, but you can make songs. It don't have to cost you a fortune out to put a song out. But anyway, he's a songwriter, so he writes songs. So he wrote a song. Now he said if he writes, 9, 10 more songs, he'll put an album out. Maybe he'll put singles out until he gets an album. You don't know. He just taking it as he goes. I mean, the guy's he started in the late 70s. There, he was in a band called Piper. They actually opened for Kiss and got picked up by Casablanca, and then of course he went solo. Had to Tell the Tape, which I love. That was a great album there, but his breakthrough, of course, was Don't Say No, and then Emotions in Motion, and he's just kind of done his thing. And I'm really digging that song right there. I really love that song. And let's see what other ones we come across is coming out with some music, and a band called Winger. You remember Winger? They got very talented. Rod Morgenstein from the Dixie Dregs is on drums, and then Kip Winger. He's the poster boy. He's a good-looking guy. He came from Alice Cooper. Played bass with Alice Cooper. And it just the Beavis and Butthead came out, and they were throwing darts at a Winger poster talking about Metallica, and then all of a sudden Winger became taboo because we're all sheep. That's basically what it comes down to, and we're still sheep. We prove that with politics every day. Because I just come out and I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. I always question the government because they've done proven that they're not very trustworthy. But with that said, Winger consistently put out good music. Down Incognito, man, that is one of my favorite ones. They got one called Junkyard Dog, Love. Came out later on with some good albums. And evidently this is their 7th album, because I think the name of the album is called 7. It's going to be coming out. I want to say it's coming out in May or June. But anyway, they've released a single. This one may be June. See, that's where I should have put my notes down. And then I'll give you some proper information. But get on Google. Quit being lazy. You quit being lazy. But anyway, let's just jump into this Swinger song here.
The crimson skies, no blind to rise. You took a stand with a gun in your hand. They sold your
one of the best vocalists came out of the 80s, in my opinion. As far as talent goes, one of the best bands. They got catchy songs. And this was probably straight out of the lockdown and the riots and all that stuff that went on. But anyway, there's a little taste of some Winger right there, and like I said, they got caught up in the Beavis Butthead thing, and then where people sheep, they see that, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of like the Nickelback thing. All of a sudden, somebody decided they wasn't cool, and then all of a sudden, people follow along, and they're not cool anymore, and then people make fun of them and all that, and I never got that because they got the killer songs, and they got some good vocals and good guitar, heavy guitar. But we're not talking about Nickelback, we're talking about Winger right now, because I'm looking forward to that album. It's called 7. When it comes out, I want to say June, but could be May. But like I said, I went blank on the name of the song. It's Desperado, something Desperado. But anyway, that's my me. That's my fault. I just jump in here and I just start doing things, and I don't have no notes made anymore. I just do it. I'm like Nike. I just do it, except I do it with more style, and more conviction, and a little less judgmental attitude, I guess. I don't know. But enough about Nike. Anyway, there you got Winger, and then what's our next one we're going to jump into? And it's this one, we're going to jump into some extreme. Just so happened to mention Nuno Betancourt, the guitarist, at the Super Bowl, because he was on stage with Rihanna. That's his money gig. That's where he makes the big money. But, extreme. They still make albums, and they got an album coming out called 6. So I started looking at that. I said, Winger's going to have an album called 7. Extreme's going to have an album called 6. So, 6 albums by Extreme, 7 albums by Winger. I mean, Winger's up by 1. Now, though, hey, let me check, see how many studio albums Billy Squires got, because maybe that's 8. Wouldn't that be something? But, nah, he's got like 9. 9 or 10. Something like that. And maybe he can just put 8 songs on the album, and that would really help me out if he could do that. Billy, if you're watching, and I'm sure you are, something to think about. Anyway, Extreme.
Feel it, can you taste it? Take a bite of your life, don't you waste it. Ride the lightning, roll the thunder. You're the chosen one. I'm gonna lift you up, straight to the top. I'm gonna raise you up.
Good catchy tune.
I'm gonna lift you up, watch you rise, watch you fall. Gonna raise you up.
Oh, yeah, it's a good catchy tune. I like it. It's a little heavy. You never know with Extreme. You can get the ballad. You can get that kind of the more light song, kind of fun song. You can get the funky song. They kind of go all over the place, and they do I love that about them. They do whatever they feel. They write what they want to write. Throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Kind of like a laundry day. Anyway, Extreme. Album's gonna be called 6 again. I'm getting them mixed up. I don't know which one. Winger Extreme. One's coming out in May. One's coming out in June. I can't remember which one's which. Like I said, quit being lazy and get on Google and look at it or whatever. Or something. But anyway, because check out some more stuff. I mean, go refamiliarize yourself with some Extreme stuff, man, because that's so much fun. Maybe I should dig out some of my personal videos because I'm going to be planning some personal videos here in a few with Winery Dogs. That's the video that I took that night to show you how my wife and I celebrate our anniversary. And because I know Monsters Rock's coming up in April, maybe I'll do some old Monsters Rock stuff on that show. I always got stuff running through my head, things I can do. What can I do? Oh, look what I found here. Look, a squirrel. Look at this here. Found them in my bag because I haven't really done it overnight since we did the Eric Clapton concert and the pics from Eric Clapton concert we went to. As cool as that. It wasn't much. I mean, we had to pay for it. I had to pay for it, but it wasn't much. You know. So anyway, that's kind of cool. A little pic collection. I need to actually make a picture frame or something. Put all my pics because I got pics in here of a bunch of different bands. Cause that's a lot of what that they do on the cruise. They just send you a pic every time you meet one. I got from several from some more than once because they forget they meet you because some of them's a little inebriated a lot of times. That's another thing I can do if I do some Monsters Rock videos and stuff. I can tell some stories and stuff from the different ones I've done. But anyway, like I said, I get all these different ideas and whether I follow through or not, you know, and I tried to be a little different because I could have done a Shamrock one because you do old St. Patty's Day is coming up. But that's the whole reason. Another reason my anniversary is on 3/16 is because we didn't want our anniversary to be on 3/17 because the way the weekend fell and all that stuff. But anyway, let's get into some more news here. We did a little bit of the Woman's Day with the Jill thing there, and another thing is the big thing is this Silicon Valley Bank closed, and I believe another bank is closed now, and that's kind of scary, you know, especially for the corporations, you know, because they big money in there, and only so much of it's insured, but crack staff here at the other side of everything else, we got an inside look at the Biden administration when they were, you know, talking about other people's money.
Why did I spend all that money?
Well, that's a kind of insensitive, I guess, but you know, the Biden administration is not always sensitive. I mean, politics definitely isn't. That's a sad thing is we live in a world where everybody's feelings get hurt, and that's bad. But the thing I found weird is that they's wearing kiss makeup to their meeting. But you know, I understand. I totally get it. I mean, why not? Really impressed that they went out and even got the outfits, but looked like from like maybe the 1979 era, you know, the Dynasty era maybe. But anyway, so I gotta respect that though. That at least they did dress up like that while they laughed at people's money situations. But let's jump in to see how my wife and I celebrate our anniversary. What we book in it. Our anniversary is this week. And then the following week, I think it's the 25th of March or something like that. No, this is the 25th. I don't know what I'm at. But I don't know. We got a 38 special concert coming up. Our anniversary's in between that and the Winery Dogs. The Winery Dogs was an overnight stay. We went to St. Charles, Illinois, a great venue called Arcata. Went to Wahlburgers. I've never been to Wahlburgers before. You know, the Donnie and Mark Wahlberg, and of course their other brother. I want to say his name's Tommy or something like that. No, it's Paul. Paul. I remember now. Paul. Sorry about that, Paul. And Tommy, if there is a Tommy. But so we did that and got the show. I got a few, you know, some places downtown there, and or Old Town, whatever it be. Because Arcata is kind of just away from like the hustle and bustle of the fast food chains and all that, and you got more some you know, pizzerias, and they've done a lot with Arcata now. I called it Arcadia for a long time, and I talked to some people who worked there, and they called it Arcadia for a while when they first got there, but it's Arcata, and they're putting some suites in there where you can actually stay there like a, you know, hotel night. You can they put a dance club in there. You know, they got the pizzeria in there. They got an old speakeasy, 1920s thing. it's a small place. I mean, I think probably 1,000 people or so, maybe less, as far as the concert goes. Established in 1921, which I compare it to Louisville Palace. Louisville Palace is bigger. Louisville Palace was built in 1923, and I think it holds around 2,000 people, a little less than 2,000. So I love the history of stuff. There's a place in Indianapolis called Slippery Noodle that I love because Al Capone used to go there and they do target practice in the back, and underneath, Prohibition, they would run in alcohol and stuff. But anyway, Winery Dogs are on tour, and so we're getting to see them now, and then they're going out the West Coast, going overseas, and then from what I understand, Mr. Big's got some dates overseas at the end of the year. And then hopefully we're going to get some U.S. dates. We're supposed to, and because I'll probably go see Mr. Big again too, even though Pat Torpey's not with them anymore. Underrated drummer, very good drummer. But I've seen them before. I saw them in a place that probably didn't have 500 people in it, and which they're huge over in Japan. They just came from Japan when I saw them in Japan. They were playing in front of 30,000 people and going insane, and they come over here and the show was still on that kind of high level. They didn't, whether it's 500 or whether it's 30,000, they still gave that top-notch performance. And Winery Dogs, I think, does the same thing. And everybody plays the Arcata. It's a nice little place if you don't mind traveling to St. Charles, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. It's a nice little weekend trip if somebody's playing there you want to see. All the bands, from the 80s and early 90s and some 70s and a lot of tribute bands. They're all playing there. But let's jump into some Winery Dogs and get your taste. I know I talk about Winery Dogs a lot, but and I don't always buy the shirt. But if there's a shirt I like, I'll bite the bullet and spend the big money because bands, they're not making money off their CDs. They did me. I bought a CD just to have it. We listened to CD on the way down. And we're up. From where I'm at, I guess we's going up. Moving on up, just like the Jeffersons. But anyway, let's jump into some Winery Dogs. This is my own personal footage. Voice like velvet. They got great ballads, great rockers, shredding songs. It's called Damage. Great lyrics. Oh, a little Captain Love right here. Off the second album. Second album took me a little while to really get into. I love it now. You'd be hard pressed to find a better guitarist, better vocalist, better bassist, better drummer. It's one of the more simple songs, but it's just so good. Look right at me. Look right at you. There's a song off first album with Damage. Captain Love's off the second album. This is off the new album, Winery Dogs 3. Xanadu. One of the best screams in rock and roll. Oh, so good, so good. That's a good time. I mean, it's never a bad time. We love Arcata. We love Winery Dogs. It was just a no-brainer. We just had it fell up on a Friday night, so went on a Friday night, come home on a Saturday, about 4.5 hour drive from where I'm at. And it's one of the good things about where I live at. I'm like 30 minutes from Louisville, Kentucky, which gets most of the big shows and the smaller shows. I'm like an hour from Indianapolis, Indiana, which gets about everything. Noblesville, Indiana, just another, 10, 20 minutes down the road. Chicago, St. Charles there, that was, about 4.5 hour drive. Cincinnati, Ohio, I can get there with an hour, hour and a half. Nashville, Tennessee, that's about a 3-hour drive, about a 5-hour drive to Gatlinburg, another hour to Knoxville after that, and place we call Little Nashville, Brown County. That's where I'm going to see 38 Special at in a couple of weeks. It's about an hour away, give or take. So, it's great when you can do this kind of stuff and you can just make a day out of it. So, I think after 38 Special, I got Alter Bridge coming up, so I covered their new album a little bit in an earlier episode, and I've seen them live a few times, a couple of times, and man, they are just so great live, and that's at the Louisville Palace. So, and now that I know how to integrate my videos into my program here, then I'll start showing you just my personal videos, and I'll still explore a lot of other stuff. Like I said, I got a lot of ideas I'd like to jump into. Hopefully I can get to them. Let's end this. We got another news story I just want to jump into. Another big issue is the student buyout, or the student loan, payoff, or as I like to call it, buying votes. Let's face it, that's how they got a lot of the votes in the midterm. They promised, pay off student loans, and so you got record number of younger people out there, and it's just not a coincidence. But what happens when people are not responsible for their education? They get everything paid for. It's like going to a party school, right? And that's kind of what I found our crack staff. And when I say crack staff, I don't mean that they're high. I don't mean they're on crack. I don't mean they're not. I don't know. I don't drug test. But here's what we got when we looked into some of the people that got their student loans covered, because I believe illegally, I might add, from what I understand, and I don't know, I don't have any sources. I might be even making it up. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I heard it. This is what we got.
Facilities are yours. Do whatever you want.
I'm not sure which college this is. It's School of Hard Knocks, maybe. But you know what? I think I'd probably go there if I did go back and get my education, because I do want to dance. Maybe I was looking at the wrong side of everything. See? Everything has three sides. Four if you come from my point of view. But anyway, it looks like we're coming to another end. Get another shot of the everything. Look, I got my deal back there. Of course, there's a bright light coming through. That's the holy diver thing that my wife gave me when we first got together. Still got the cassettes here, you know, nothing new there. And what we got over here? That's a Rocklahoma book, and we hung it on our door at one of the Monsters of Rock, and Skid Row was across the aisle from us. Their cabin was like right across from ours, and they saw it hanging there, and Scotty Hill and Rachel Boland, they signed it. And then we saw them, and they talked about we had the coolest door because I just hung a bunch of old concert ticket stubs up there, and because back then you actually got a ticket stub and all that. So, but you don't get anymore. It's all on your phone. So unless you want to print that out somehow, you don't have that memorabilia. But old time microphone. I got my PRS guitar there. See, there's a Winery Dog hanging up back here. See, right next to the Iron Maiden and the Paul McCartney in the great state of rock and roll. All right. So anyway, looks like we're coming to another end. But you know what? One ending is another beginning. So we shall begin again. And luckily, I'm not late this time. You know, because before I said, you know, better late than pregnant. So I think I'm actually a little bit early. So I don't know what that means. I guess that just means you're not pregnant. So I guess it's great. It's great. But just remember, always look on the other side, because that could be where everything else is. So until the next time, I shall see you on the other side.